In the past few years, the peace in the world seems really shaky. Unfortunately, a lot of conflicts have resurged recently, for example, Russia and Ukraine, Armenia and Azerbaijan, and Israel and Palestine. And of course, every single normal person's reaction to this is usually something like, oh, you know, this is just terribly sad, and I'm just sad for all the civilians involved in this. However, sometimes certain people have a different reaction, and that reaction follows more along the lines of, how do I make this war about me? What is up, everybody? It is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian, and in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about main characters during war. Now, if you guys have never heard of the term main character syndrome is essentially when somebody thinks they are the main character of their life. This usually comes with a side of individuality complex, quirky style, and a self-centered point of view. A main character is essentially a very cocky, very confident, self-centered person that thinks that the world revolves around them. This term is actually very popular online these days, and it seems like pretty much anybody and anything is being called a main character these days. However, today we have quite a more of an interesting example of main character syndrome. And in particular, an Instagram story that was posted by an American fashion influencer, Danielle Bernstein, and it turns out that she runs her own brand called We Wore What. Honestly, I've never heard about it before, but Business of Fashion recently made an Instagram post about her, and all the comments are just hating on her and making fun of her, so that's just an interesting factoid for you. Danielle Bernstein lives in New York, and she's also of Jewish heritage, and the only reason I would ever mention this is because it's relevant to the topic. And this, guys, is the image in question, posted by We Were What on Instagram. Nice selfie with an expensive leather Sherlin jacket, expensive designer sunglasses, and expensive jewelry, in a taxi in New York saying this: FYI, leaving the house today is fucking terrifying as a Jew. There's threats all over, especially in New York City for a global day of jihad. As always, just be aware and stay safe. So yes, obviously in this, Danielle is speaking in the context of the current Israel and Hamas conflict. If you guys want to know what I think about it, you could check out my previous video. I also talked about how Russian propaganda reacted to the entire Israel conflict. And essentially she's expressing her feelings as somebody with Jewish heritage about the rise in anti-Semitism in the world, which I agree is a real issue. And you totally have the right to express your feelings, right? However, can we just talk about how main character this is, please? You're currently sitting in a taxi in New York City. So you already have a way lesser chance of dying just because you don't have to use the New York subway system. You're a fashion influencer with millions of followers and a fashion clothing brand. You live in central Manhattan, New York City, one of the most expensive places in the world, which basically definitely puts you in the top 1% of the entire world. You have an outfit on that's probably worth like $6,000. And like I said, yes, your feelings can be valid. However, you know, in Gaza Strip, there's little kids that have like 30 cents to their name, and that's like the most amount of money they've ever seen in their life, probably. These kids are being bombed and they're seeing their entire city be leveled. And also in Israel, there's been a lot of victims of the terrible violence by Hamas. And look, to give credit where credit's due, to Danielle, actually her brands raised funds for Ukrainian refugees, which I do commend. And also they made a point to basically, their brand will be donating money to the Israeli Defense Forces. So, I'm just really not gonna comment on that, you know. You guys discuss it down in the comments.
I need more bullets! I need more bullets! I need more bullets!
Basically what I'm saying is that I find it a little bit tone deaf, you know what I mean? Honestly, it kinda reminds me of that one College Humor skit.
Oh my god. A train just crashed near Paris. 35 people died.
Oh my god. I was just in Paris like 2 days ago. That is crazy. It could have been me.
Are you okay?
You're fine. You weren't there, and even if you were, nothing probably would have happened to you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna post something on Facebook about it. I could be literally dead right now.
Yeah, or this lady right here on Twitter that made this terrible slam poetry video saying that if only she was Putin's mom, the world would be okay.
Dear President Vladimir Putin, I'm so sorry that I was not your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been so loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm.
Блять, вот что пиздит эта проститутка?
And once again, I just want to say, when I saw this picture for the first time, what I thought of immediately was just white people want to be oppressed so bad. And like I said, once again, anti-Semitism is a problem. However, like, you literally live in a lavish luxury lifestyle in central New York, Manhattan. You're taking expensive cabs everywhere. Nobody is gonna tell you're Jewish out of a crowd. You look just like any rich person from New York. And no, I'm not saying that in order to have the right to complain, she has to quote-unquote look Jewish, whatever that means, because Jewish people are a very diverse group of people. I'm not saying that at all, and once again, this is a real issue. However, let's just put it in perspective. You are not unsafe when you live in a very highly affluent life in Soho, New York. And you don't even get down to the subway to be around with the dirty peasants, you know what I mean? You literally have zero risk in your life, okay? Like, come on, guys, come on. So yes, you could make the point that she's actually spreading awareness about the anti-Semitism issue here, and that's a fair point, but I do feel like this image is sprinkled with just a little bit of Islamophobia on top. This is also sort of fear-mongering in a sense. What is a global day of jihad? What are you talking about? And look, once again, I'm not defending terrorist groups. They're bad. They're really bad, okay? However, when you're saying this, it kind of makes it feel like every Muslim is sort of in on this and every Muslim is like out there trying to get Jewish people now. And yes, there are governments in the world and groups in the world that act actively anti-Semitic. However, a global day of jihad, that is just not happening.
This has been widely made fun of, which is good. Like, obviously, we're posing for a Vogue shot while promoting insane fear-mongering over shit like Global Day of Jihad, or the idea that anyone would just randomly target this woman for being a Jew based on what? Like, Jew, religion, ethnicity, culture, like how, you know, like what? Vibes? And also the fact that it's a Vogue shot and this woman is clearly a millionaire.
So yeah, I do think that there's like a post-9/11 Islamophobic vibe going on here. And here's the thing, I want to actually address this because some people will be saying this, but people will say, Roman, you're just the same as her. Because their channel is also like, woe is me, you know, my life is so hard, it's so hard for Russians out there. Meanwhile, people are actually dying and getting bombed in Ukraine, right? So I want to address that point, but I would give it to her if it was just like a lazy mirror selfie, you know, or something like that. But not like a outfit of the day check, $5,000 outfit, by the way, my life is in danger, like, I don't know, but here's the thing. People say, Roman, you've got a pretty good life, you have a PS5, you have a decent watch or whatever, you have like a setup, you shouldn't be complaining about anything. Well, here's the thing, I believe there's a difference between like talking about the issues that your people are facing. So in regards with Danielle, this would be, you know, the anti-Semitism that Jewish people face all over the world. And for me, my issue would be, you know, the, let's say, Russophobia, right? So a lot of the West treating the average Russians like they're guilty, meanwhile letting rich people and people connected to the Russian governments actually live in their countries, etc. with no problems. Yes, she brings up her community's issues and I bring up my community's issues. However, first of all, I'm not trying to really sell you anything. Well, when I'm doing sponsored videos, I guess I am, but I'm just being paid for it, you know, my heart's not in it. No, I'm just making content, and the only thing that I encourage people to do is support my channel because it just supports my daily life and basic purchases, essentially. Rents, you know. And I've seen people online make the argument that, you know, since I'm making videos about such topics as Russia-Ukraine crisis right now, right, I should not be doing this, but I don't know, guys, I've been doing this way before the war even started, and every YouTuber does this, so like realistically, why would I miss out on free money? I'm just saying. I don't see anything morally wrong with collecting money from fans on your YouTube channel who like your videos. But here's the thing where the main difference lies in is, she's saying that she's scared to go outside, essentially, in New York City, being a very rich, upper class. And here's the thing, I live in Georgia, a place that has a lot of people who don't like Russians. When you go outside in the streets, you can see graffiti saying Russians go home. I also took this one recently, which was funny as fuck, to be honest. However, life here is actually completely normal for Russians, and for pretty much any other person. Georgia is a very safe country. And you know, I could play on this sort of theme, right? I could basically say, you know, guys, I'm afraid to go outside because I saw that one writing saying fuck Russia on the street. Now I know that all these Georgians are coming out there for me. I'm just too scared to go out. By the way, guys, check out my PS5, by the way. It's really cool, yeah? But by the way, I'm really scared to even go outside. Like, life is just so bad right now. I'm not acting like that. And in fact, also, when I talk about the struggles Russian people are facing with, like, visas or whatever, right? These videos where I complain about how hard it is for Russians. These are things that should be fixed, and I do not want to demonize the West. I do not want to demonize other countries. I do not want to demonize, like, Ukraine or whatever. Because some of their people don't like me, you know? It's basically kind of the same as saying that Ukraine is just a Nazi country, because there's Ukrainians out there that don't like Russians right now. You know what I mean? I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm even making a good point here, but that's just what I wanted to say. And honestly, guys, yes, I'm sitting here calling her out, but to some degree, let's be completely honest, every single YouTuber on the low thinks they're a main character. Especially if you're a popular YouTuber and you get some views. I personally think I'm fucking trash. And I'm always thinking that my channel is gonna die in 2 weeks because nobody actually gives a fuck about me. That's just what I think of myself. However, yes, throughout my life, I've also felt those kind of feelings where I was like, man, I'm killing this shit, you know? I'm like really the main character right now. Yes, people go through these phases, and a lot of creators, a lot of YouTubers, artists, you know, musicians, actors, whatever, any celebrity, and YouTubers are celebrities, micro-celebrities in a sense, yeah? When you get some success, you do become a sort of a main character. But yeah, all I'm saying basically is, you know, yes, you know, talk about, you know, the struggle of your people, express your feelings, but I don't know, maybe just not flex while you're doing it, or I don't know. That's just all I wanted to say in this video, guys, pretty much. Thank you so much for watching it. Slap the like on it, and also if you want to support me additionally, as always, go down to the link down in the description. Become a YouTube member is basically the best way to support me, or you can do a super thanks underneath this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.